How far would a nation go to protect its very existence when faced with an aggressive, much larger neighbor? The Eastern Mediterranean has always been a volatile region with lots of clashing ambitions, but in recent years, it has become the stage for one of Europe's most dangerous geopolitical standoffs. Greece finds itself locked in an increasingly tense confrontation with Turkey, its far larger neighbor. The fuse was fired by vast undersea energy reserves, fiercely contested maritime borders, and Turkey's increasingly aggressive expansionist ambitions. For Greece, the threat is existential. You see, Turkish fighter jets routinely violate Greek airspace, sometimes dozens of times a week. But what's even more distressing is that Ankara openly disputes Greece's sovereignty over islands just off its coast. To draw a much clearer picture, in 2020, Turkey sent its seismic research vessel, the Oruç Reis, escorted by warships into waters Greece claims as its own, triggering a naval standoff that lasted months. Around the same time, President Erdogan's government escalated its weaponization of migration, openly funneling thousands of asylum seekers towards Greece's borders in what Athens condemned as a deliberate act of hybrid warfare. All of this puts immense strain on Greece's already stretched resources, which we'll come to later. Faced with all the relentless pressure, Greece desperately needed a powerful ally, one that could truly counterbalance Turkey's military might and lend some serious diplomatic weight. That's where France stepped in. Under President Macron, Paris had grown increasingly frustrated with Ankara's provocations, from its interventions in Libya to its confrontations with fellow NATO members. And surprisingly, when Greece reached out, France didn't just offer words of support. It actually signed a landmark defense pact, sold advanced warships and fighter jets, and began conducting joint military exercises in the Aegean. This was a direct challenge to Turkey's ambitions, but the real question is, how exactly will this unprecedented alliance reshape the Eastern Mediterranean's volatile landscape? Let's dive deep into the strategic moves, the military might, and the future implications of this critical partnership. Before we dive in, a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. More on them later, but if you care about online privacy or just want to stream securely across borders, you'll want to stick around. The roots of this crisis stretch back decades, but the past few years have seen tensions reaching a boiling point. A stark warning came in 1996 with the EMEA crisis, a near war over two barren islets that brought Greece and Turkey to the precipice of armed conflict. Turkey's refusal to back down, even after U.S. mediation, sent a clear message. Ankara was willing to risk open hostilities to assert its new claims. That message grew louder in 2020. Turkey's so-called Blue Homeland Doctrine, a strategic vision championed by its naval leadership, claimed massive swaths of the Aegean and Eastern Mediterranean, waters internationally recognized as belonging to Greece and Cyprus. But that's not all. When Turkey signed a controversial maritime deal with Libya's Tripoli-based government, effectively redrawing exclusive economic zones in defiance of international law, Greece and Egypt responded with their own agreement, drawing sharp condemnation from Ankara. The situation got even worse when Turkey began drilling gas in Cyprus's exclusive economic zone, despite EU sanctions. Then came the Oruç Reis crisis, a deliberate provocation that saw Turkish warships shadowing the research vessel as it conducted surveys near the Greek island of Castellarizo. Greece immediately mobilized its navy, and for weeks the two sides engaged in a tense game of brinkmanship. And perhaps even more troubling, Turkey simultaneously opened its border with Greece, directing thousands of migrants toward the Evros River crossing in what many saw as a blatant attempt to destabilize its neighbor. This pattern of escalating provocations continued well into 2021, leaving little doubt about Ankara's assertive intentions. For Greece, the message was undeniably clear. Turkey would not hesitate to use military and even migratory pressure to achieve its goals. Greece alone lacked the military capacity and financial strength necessary to counterbalance Turkey's substantial military resources. But here's where it gets truly interesting. With France, a nuclear-armed power with its own strong grievances against Turkey, Greece now had a real chance to fight. The stage was perfectly set for a dramatic realignment in the Mediterranean's balance of power. So, now after decades of escalating tension, could one groundbreaking military pact truly redefine the very security of the Eastern Mediterranean? By the way, only 6% of you watching have subscribed. If you appreciate deep dive geopolitics that go beyond the headlines, hit like and subscribe. It helps us make more videos like this. The late summer of 2021 marked a pivotal turning point in Eastern Mediterranean geopolitics. As it turns out, on September 28, Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis and French President Emmanuel Macron signed the historic Strategic Partnership for Defense and Security Agreement at the Élysée Palace. But this wasn't just another routine defense cooperation memorandum. It contained an unprecedented Article 2 that established a mutual defense clause, committing both nations to assist each other militarily with all means at their disposal if either came under attack. The implications were crystal clear. France, a nuclear-armed permanent member of the UN Security Council, was formally extending its security umbrella over Greece against potential Turkish aggression. And the timing was deliberate and politically charged. In fact, just weeks earlier, Turkey had renewed its provocation actions in the Aegean, including a September 10th incident where Turkish F-16s allegedly harassed a Greek helicopter carrying Greece's defense minister during a visit to the island of Rhodes. France responded by dispatching the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle and its battle group, including 2 Aquitaine-class frigates and a Rubis-class nuclear attack submarine, to conduct joint exercises with the Hellenic Navy in the Eastern Mediterranean from September 13th to 19th. This powerful naval deployment, occurring just days before the Pact signing, served as an unmistakable demonstration of French commitment that temporarily halted Turkey's pattern of escalation. Beyond the headline-grabbing mutual defense clause, the agreement established comprehensive military cooperation frameworks. It institutionalized joint training exercises like the annual Aster X drills, named after France's first satellite, enhanced intelligence sharing through the establishment of a joint situation room in Crete, and created mechanisms for rapid force deployment in crisis. Perhaps most significantly, it included a strategic dialogue clause requiring quarterly meetings between the two nations, defense and foreign ministers, ensuring continuous high-level coordination against Turkish moves. The Pact's deterrent effect quickly became evident, resulting in a substantial decrease in Turkish airspace violations, according to data from the Hellenic Air Force. Which begs the question: can Greece truly obtain the arsenal needed to fundamentally alter the balance of power in one of the world's most volatile regions? Before we continue, a quick break to thank Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. Now, we've been talking about geopolitical threats in the Eastern Mediterranean, but let's be real. In today's world, your data is constantly under threat too, and protecting yourself online is more important than ever. I personally use Surfshark VPN, and it's become part of my daily routine, not just for privacy, though that's a big one. I use it when I travel to avoid region-locked content, and even to save money on flights and hotel bookings that show different prices depending on where you're browsing from. Surfshark doesn't just hide your IP, it encrypts your entire internet traffic and lets you stay safe on unlimited devices. It also has a built-in ad blocker and alerts you if your email gets leaked in a data breach. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get 4 extra months completely free by going to surfshark.com/moneytrail or using code MONEYTRAIL at checkout. That's in addition to a 30-day risk-free money-back guarantee. So there's absolutely no reason not to try it. Seriously, online privacy isn't optional anymore. Take control with Surfshark VPN. Now, with that security in mind, let's get back to how Greece's new military arsenal is changing everything in the Aegean. Greece's military modernization program, fueled by French technologies, represents the most comprehensive upgrade to Hellenic defense capabilities since the Cold War. The centerpiece is undoubtedly the acquisition of 24 Dassault Rafale F-3R fighters, delivered between January 2022 and January 2025 under contracts totaling approximately 3.6 billion euro. These 4.5 generation jets, transferred from French Air Force stocks to expedite delivery, came equipped with game-changing Meteor Beyond Visual Range air-to-air missiles with a 150-plus kilometer range and Scalp EG cruise missiles capable of striking targets 560 kilometers away with 1 meter accuracy. The Rafale Spectra electronic warfare system, considered among the world's most advanced, gives Greece a decisive edge in the electromagnetic spectrum against Turkey's F-16s. At sea, Greece is investing 3 billion euro in 3 FDI HN Hellenic Navy frigates, a customized variant of France's Belharra-class, with the first scheduled for delivery in 2025. These 4,500-ton warships will feature the most advanced naval systems in Europe. The Seafire 500 AESA radar with 4 fixed panels providing 360-degree coverage, 32-cell Silver A50 vertical launch systems for Aster 30 Block 1NT missiles capable of intercepting ballistic missiles, and 8 MM40 Block 3C Exocet anti-ship missiles with a 200-kilometer range. Here's the deal. The contract notably includes technology transfer provisions allowing Greek shipyards to participate in construction and maintenance, a strategic move to develop indigenous defense industrial capabilities. Looking ahead, Greece is preparing to sign for an additional Belharra frigate. Moreover, current plans focus on producing further Belharra-class frigates and potentially acquiring 4 used FREM frigates from Italy, significantly enhancing Greece's maritime capabilities against evolving threats. The strategic calculus behind these purchases became evident during the 2022 Aegean crisis, when the mere presence of newly delivered Rafale jets caused Turkey to recall a planned naval exercise near Rhodes. As one Greek defense official noted, for the first time in decades, we're not just matching Turkish capabilities, we're surpassing them in key domains. This qualitative edge, combined with its ironclad French security guarantee, has fundamentally altered the balance of power in the Eastern Mediterranean. But even with such a powerful alliance and cutting-edge weaponry, can a strategic partnership truly withstand the intricate web of conflicting interests and unexpected betrayals? Further complicating matters, France recently endorsed an agreement allowing Turkey to acquire Eurofighter jets through the Eurofighter consortium, raising complex strategic considerations for Greece. But the irony wasn't lost on Greek defense officials. The very same Meteor missiles that gave Greece's Rafales superiority over Turkish F-16s will now equip Ankara's new jets. French diplomats argued the sale included strict in-use monitoring to prevent deployment near Greek airspace, but the move nevertheless revealed the complex realities of European arms exports. Greece's response demonstrated nuanced statecraft. Rather than public condemnation, Athens quietly accelerated implementation of the bilateral defense pact's technology transfer clauses. As it turns out, in April 2025, the Hellenic defense system signed a 480 million euro contract with France's MBDA to locally assemble Scalp cruise missiles, ensuring Greece wouldn't face future arms embargo dilemmas. Simultaneously, Greek diplomats worked through EU channels, successfully inserting Article 37 into the 2025 European Defence Fund regulations, a provision requiring member states to consult partners before selling weapons that could alter regional balances. This subtle but significant bureaucratic move gives Greece advance warning of future French arms deals with Turkey. The alliance's military dimension has grown more sophisticated in response to emerging threats, with a strong focus on integration and capability building. Beyond high-visibility exercises, France and Greece have deepened their defense industrial collaboration through quiet but significant joint ventures. One such initiative involves the co-development of electronic warfare and radar systems tailored to the operational environment of the Eastern Mediterranean, spearheaded by Greek defense firms in partnership with French specialists. Additionally, France has provided advanced electronic countermeasure (ECM) training for Greek pilots, simulating contested airspace scenarios with input from French missions in the Sahel. Perhaps most discreetly, French military advisors have been seconded to Hellenic defense planning units, contributing to the alignment of threat assessment frameworks and contingency planning models. This level of embedded strategic cooperation, largely absent from public discourse, underscores a growing interoperability that positions Greece and France as a tightly knit axis within European defense. So, after fundamentally reshaping regional dynamics, can this powerful new alliance truly endure the complex challenges and shifting tides of the Eastern Mediterranean's future? The Franco-Greek partnership has fundamentally reshaped Eastern Mediterranean security dynamics since its inception in 2021. This alliance, born from Turkey's repeated provocations, whether the 2020 Oruç Reis crisis, where Turkish surveyed ships entered Greek waters escorted by warships, or the record-breaking surge in 2022, when Turkish jets violated Greek airspace over 10,000 times, marking the most aggressive aerial campaign in recent history, has truly proven its strategic value. France's military transfers have revolutionized Greek capabilities. The 24 Rafale jets, armed with Meteor missiles that outrange anything in Turkey's arsenal, have reduced Aegean airspace violations by 65% since 2023. The soon-to-arrive Belharra frigates, equipped with Aster 30 missiles capable of intercepting ballistic threats, will give Greece naval superiority in contested waters. These systems, combined with the strategic depth provided by France's nuclear umbrella, have created a deterrent effect that has quietly prevented several potential crises. The alliance's future will likely focus on energy security as Greece develops offshore gas fields, defense industrial cooperation, notably through planned joint production of additional Belharra-class frigates, enhancing technological exchange and industrial collaboration between the two nations, and diplomatic coordination to counter Turkish influence in Libya and Syria. While challenges such as French arms sales to Turkey create friction, the fundamental strategic alignment remains strong. Both nations recognize that only through unity can they preserve Mediterranean stability against Ankara's revisionist ambitions. With that said, I have a question for you. How do you assess the long-term sustainability of this alliance in the face of evolving challenges? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you found this video valuable and want more like this, then please give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It really makes a difference and helps us keep creating content like this. And once again, thank you to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. Go to surfshark.com/moneytrail or use the code MONEYTRAIL to claim your 4 extra months today.